This is DK and introducing first Orange.
With us now is Net with Orange and Josh helping us out once again. First question is, one game down right now. What are your thoughts going into the second potential 2 today?
第一问就是你们现在对 DK 是0-1落后，有什么看法？
我们就回去讨论了开了个会，今天就尽力打吧，也没有准备什么特别的。
He says they just went back and they held a meeting and they discussed some things, but mainly they just got to play as hard as they can because they don't have anything special up their sleeves. They're just going to play.
Do you think having the night off after the first game was helpful going in?
那你觉得有一个晚上来休息总结会不会带来一些帮助？
那肯定会帮助很多。
He says, of course, it's going to be a big help.
Good. All right. Well, congratulations on your luck this far, making it this far in the tournament, and hopefully we can bring you back up against DK. Thanks, Net.
Lee Kongyang, KYXY, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
蔡怡峰, Moshi, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Lim Wai Ben, Net, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Koo Jong Sing, Ohio, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Joel Chanjanel, Exting, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Orange Esports then. They say the rest should have helped them. Hopefully it has. They need to win 2 back-to-back. Ohio, Mushi, KYXY, Net, and Extinct. Every single game these guys have played, no matter if it's a win or it's a loss, has been close. The easiest match they've had maybe in the lower bracket was against Fnatic, and that was maybe Fnatic not playing so great. But Orange have always performed. They've been a great team, and they're going to be going up against DK.
And DK is coming off a win versus Orange last night. And we have Burning with us now to talk about how that all went. And Josh is going to help us here. And my first question, and I guess really my only question, we see a lot of players come through here who talk about how much respect they have for you and how neat it is for them just to play in the same venue as you. What does that feel like for you?
就是这几天比赛中，就做采访的有很多选手都说他们都是他们的偶像。那你对这个有什么看法感觉？
很开心吧，就是打了这么多年职业，就是大家对我算是一种肯定吧，我觉得。
He's really happy about it. He's played for all these years, and to be able to get to this level is like a kind of a confirmation of what he's achieved.
Well, everyone here has so much respect for you. Best of luck in the game. We'll see you soon, Burning. Thank you.
徐志雷 Burning 安徽 China
姚毅 QQQ 安徽 China
白帆 ROTK 陕西 China
谢俊豪 Super 广东 China
雷生荣 AMI 广西 China
Team DK, despite being the lower bracket, still looks so good and could easily make it to the grand finals. Burning needs a repeat performance of yesterday. His carry, you saw there, GPM almost up to 1,000, joined by his teammates MMY, QQQ, Super and ROTK. We'll see if they can bring the match home. They only need 1, so it looks like we're well into the picks. We're going to throw it to the hall. Best of luck to both teams and enjoy the game.
Orange versus DK.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Battle Royale Hall. I am Toby One.
And I'm Wagamama.
And we are back here to complete what we started yesterday, man. 1-0 already, going the way of DK. It was a fun game yesterday, is the best way of putting it.
It was a really fun game, and now we're going to see DK and Orange, of course. The pressure is applied a little bit now after that. And I wonder how it feels, man, going to sleep and knowing that you have to come back and win 2 games back-to-back.
As I said, like, they got nothing special planned. All they want to do is just go in there and play to their strengths. And that's what they're going to try and do right now. As we bring up the draft on the screen, as we were saying before, the game is very much underway as we're going through all of our first stage of the ban. So Batrider OD, Lifestealer as well as Alchemist being banned out here. They're taking out the hard carries. We get to see a combination, which has been a while since we got to cast it, and that's the Tree Protector and the Weaver. And now we add a DK on top of this for DK. This is a very, very tough lineup to kill already.
It is, and they're offlane, of course. If they want to offlane Weaver, which is pretty much your go-to option when you have Weaver and Treant Protector, that is so hard to kill, even with a Visage in your team, and if you have a defensive tri-lane, it's still hard to bring him down, just because of that living armor being such a nuisance in the early game.
Oh yeah. It was nerfed up a little bit, but it's still, you can still work your way through it.
Yeah, but this puts DK in a position where they pretty much have to go defensive tri-lane. If you have Treant Protector, I have seen it go offensive tri-lane sometimes, but it just doesn't seem to be that effective. And against the Visage, it's always risky. So Orange could definitely try to abuse this fact. The Treant, he really want to rely on just getting his pulse off, getting some experience, and hitting that level 3, level 5. These timings to get even stronger living armor is really important for him.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But that means space needs to be required with the Nyx Assassin and Visage or Mushi. We do have that option of aggressive if they want to try and go down those lines. But with the Darkseer, it's probably going to be a little bit safer if they just leave him up on that top lane.
Yeah, I also like what Mushi did there on the last ban that he had, the 4th ban, and Doom going to be picked up by DK.
Happy to see him back again.
Yeah, but back to what they did on the 4th ban, banning out the Enigma as the enemy. Of course, DK had 1 ban remaining. It's a really good ban out because Rubik was still in the pool, but DK could have banned out Rubik and then picked the Enigma as a reaction pick as well.
Yep.
So good ban on the Enigma, I feel.
Well, Mushi, he's got 2 more left to go. Of course, we're actually bumping into them a little bit in the halls. And Mushi actually seems to be, well, he was very, very happy. Like, it was smile on the face, running around backstage. They had the couple of the boys bouncing around inside the box as they're starting up their draft as well. Yeah, seems like most of Orange are in very, very good spirits coming into this game, even if they are 1 game down.
They seem to have very good attitude for these games, and I don't feel you should come in and be all beaten down and too overly serious. Of course, they are serious, but they have to be able to just play their game. And he was even here just watching the top plays right before they went into the booth, enjoying those plays as well.
Have some flashbacks. Some good games. And Slardar.
Oh, that is a nice hero to see here.
This is a beautiful combination as well from them. We're going to back into a big crush. We already got Nyx done, and then Visage. They got some really great synergy between the lineups. Now with the amplified damage too, Doom is already struggling to live through most fights. We saw him yesterday when Doom was picked up, trying to go into this mech, picking up the buckler first, trying to balance out that low armor of his. And Slardar, well, he just won't care. He will chase and he will crush, quite literally.
Slardar, effective against Doom, really effective against both Treant and Weaver as well, and even DK to an extent. It's very nice to just bring down his armor. So more than that, as he said, the vacuum into crush is a good combination, and you will almost always have the crush available with that short 8-second cooldown. You have a good setup and combination here by Orange. Harder part is how you're gonna lane Slardar, but with the picks from DK, it doesn't look hard to go aggressive tri-lane. Not at all. They should be able to do it.
Yeah, they'll definitely be able to do it. It's just if they want to really do that. We've seen most of the, DK throughout most of this tournament has always been like, let's just hold back, farm up a little bit more. That's going to be the trend of the way they play. But with the Treant Protector and a Doom brewing up, it would just be so much more logical for DK just to throw him inside the jungle. Leave the Weaver in the long lane, put the DK either safe lane or mid, depending on who he's up against.
Yeah, but
just go from there.
That makes us so exposed, though, having Doom in that position. This might be something like a farming Doom.
Jungle Doom is what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, but having a jungle Doom and then you have a Treant who really heavily relies on the pull spot, I feel that then you're really just sitting back and letting the enemy team do whatever they want. So it may be a farming Doom, and then we'll see another supporter being picked up, because already having 3 strength heroes and then the Weaver, they kind of need one committed support more than just a Treant, I feel. But that's if they want to run the carry Doom, of course. It's not something that you always want to do. And it's not super effective against the Slardar either, even though it cancels the bash. Of course, Doom shutting down most passive abilities in the game, as well as silencing you.
Yeah. So kind of surprised that Burning still wanted to ban out the Gyro.
Yeah.
Sorry, that Doom still goes through.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter will be the last ban out by Mushi, so he's still thinking that maybe it's going to be a safe lane Burning Weaver in this scenario. And then the Bounty Hunter will become the nuisance on the long lane. But also, when you got Slardar, like to pick up an Invis hero, like Weaver's already going to have a hard enough time with Amplified Damage revealing him out. DK as well. Are we going to see him go for that normal Shadowblade build, even if Slardar, like Amplified Damage is a nuisance? But then again, probably with Initiation, you're going to initiate from non-Amplify anyway, so you should be okay.
Looking over to DK, unless they pick something now that can initiate, I guess he has to go for the Shadowblade still, just get a movement speed and surprise factor going in. I mean, before you get Amplified, you can still use Shadowblade for initiation, But I still feel that if they get another initiator, they can maybe go for something like Armlet, more powerhouse kind of DK, and go in and actually fight. Because against the Slaughter, if you go in and you only have a Shadowblade and Dredge for your survival,
you'll die quickly.
You're not going to live long.
Yeah, I'll just pop you out. So DK, you can see him there on your screen. They are the ones that are going to make their last decision right now. If they can take this game out, they will manage to advance themselves through into the next round, and Orange will be eliminated. So they've got to make sure they choose very, very wisely. But they have only got 17 seconds to make this choice. And we'll see how they do handle up against the Slaughter.
That's true. And DK, of course, they have the 2 chances to take this home the first game. And they're going to go for Timbersaw. So we have a 4 strength core heroes, pretty much. I won't say Treant is a core, but that is a very strength-based lineup.
And this does force the Doombringer to go inside the jungle. So this is what we're talking about, where you can be looking at the Weaver in the long lane, the DK or the Timbersaw in the middle lane. Be rather dependent on what Mushi wants is this last one. And yeah, so very safe lanes as far as DK go. They'll want to play insanely passive to start with, and then they'll look for their openings. And that timing, it could come on the back of the Dragon Form first level. When Timbersaw starts to get a little bit more momentum as well, he can become really troublesome. The BKB build for the Weaver probably going to be very high up there to get when you got, well, at this point, little that goes through it. And SF will be the last pickup here from Orange.
Yeah,
so they get some good deeps.
I was sitting here thinking, are they going to go into the minus armor strat here with the Shadow Fiend and Slaughter, which is a very nice combination. We've seen it many times, and along with Darkseer in your team, Shadow Fiend is just a beautiful pickup. So Mushi gonna play the SF and KYXY playing that Slaughter.
And I'm just loving the synergy, the combos that Orange have, even with all the tankability of DK. When they throw in their combos, it won't kill them off instantly. This is where I'm feeling still a little bit of a problem. Like, if you get a vac into a wall with a crush, with a ultimate from SF, it's still going to take a very, very long time before DK will actually fall. So they need to make sure that after this, they've still got what it takes to keep on fighting. And that means SF, Mushi, he has got to get a fantastic start. He is going to be that right-click DPS that makes DK back up.
Yeah, that's true. But we also have to look over to DK and see QQQ. He is one of the support players, and he's going to be playing the Doom, as we saw yesterday as well. He might be heading into that mech, maybe a Vladimir, as they have so many melee heroes. But support Doom, it works out really well sometimes, but it's a very greedy pick.
Oh, yeah.
Something you don't always get away with.
But with the way greedy picks work, if it does work, then there will be no way Orange could come back if it does work. Sit inside the jungle, we know how fast he can farm up. You can come out 4 minutes in, sitting around level 5. It's very, very easy for a Doombringer to farm up inside the jungle, but at the same time, it kind of also depends on what creep camp he's able to find.
That's true. What you get in a jungle is really important for Doom, as his Devourer kind of relies on getting a good creep.
Yep.
And we saw that both these teams have played each other 11 times, DK leading 8-3. So DK definitely a little bit more comfortable going up against Orange, but Orange bringing out this SF and Slaughter strat is really something I like to see here.
We'll see how effective it's going to be. Let's run through our lanes very, very quickly as well. So we'll look down towards the bottom lane. Will be KYXY playing as the Slaughter. He'll be supported by Extinct as the Visage. And then up a little bit further, it'll be Net as the Nyx Assassin. Into the middle lane, it'll be Mushi as the Shadow Fiend. And Ohio, the last one up on that top lane as the Darkseer. And as far as DK goes, ROTK is heading down to the bottom lane as that Timbersaw. In towards the middle lane, Super will be the DK. And then up on the top lane, Burning will be playing as the Weaver, MMY as the Treant Protector. And that leaves last but not least your, well, actually Doom. He'll be in the jungle. That'll be the last one, QQQ.
He will be in the jungle, and he's going to stay there for quite some time. Only having a tango, he can still jungle quite effectively. Devourer is such a good spell for just staying in that jungle and, you know, using the time.
I'm interested to see what kind of build he's going to go for. Is this going to be like a fast bottle, or does he say, let's just go for the whole monies? See if he can get into a hand of Midas at one point.
Oh, look at these birds. They're going to block off the big camp. Maybe they're running for it. I don't... Yeah, they will
Won't
make
it in time.
Oh, so close.
The Wild Wing will spawn up.
Yeah, that's good for the Doom, else he would really get stopped there.
One of the best creeps you can get at the start as well, because now he finally has armor, because he starts off at 0.
It's decent. I still feel that going for the Satire or the Troll would be better. I say going for, it's kind of not something you decide.
Yeah, you mean so you have either your undead army that you can summon up?
Yeah, that's pretty cheap as well to summon and have 6 DPS and really good regen as well on those skeletons, so using the Scorched Sheriff.
Notice on our bottom lane, ROTK isn't actually on the lane. He just started up by stacking up the Ancients. is already moving down with Living Armor, so he wants to try and stop this pull from Net. Just trying to be an absolute nuisance to him, and that's actually exactly what he'll be until Extinct rotates over. And then he won't want to stay here for too long at all. Living Armor allows him to overstay his welcome a lot more than he normally would be able to.
Yeah, he got a nice pull there still. Pulled the neutrals towards him, so that now there's a little bit of a double wave going down on bottom, but not too much. It's going to push a little bit towards his tower though.
Haya's having a lot of fun time up here on the top lane, finding himself in between multiple times MMY as well as Burning. This Darkseer is very, very... Well, it's actually a really good position for him, isn't it? There's no stun, there's no lockdown, even Leech Seed, a small slowdown, just surge yourself away from it.
Yeah, that's the downside to DK's lineup. They have nothing to stop him before Doom really hits level 6, or Treant Protector, of course, hits level 6, but it's going to be Doom first. Yeah. Meanwhile, on this bottom lane, Timbersaw is also pretty happy now because he is going to get experience under his tower. Looking over to mid lane, 7 for 5 on the DK against the 6 for 3 Shadow Fiend, who does pick up a haste rune.
And Haya's got some confidence walking underneath the Doombringer as well as MMY.
Not scared of anything.
When he's got Iron Shell up at level 2, he knows how much damage he does deal, but then again, you should remember how much damage MMY will also deal with just his normal physical attacks. That Treant Protector hits really, really hard.
Yeah, even harder as he was actually close to Doom, who took over a Damage Wolf. So having the Pack Leader's aura increases the damage so much on Treant Protector.
I think it's a plus 22 on top of his normal 88.
Yeah, I believe 22 or 28, it's crazy. Doom himself getting plus 19 from this and a crit. So this increases your farm rate incredibly much.
One way to power through that jungle, already up to level 3, so Mushy as well in the middle lane. We're seeing a bottle flying out to him. Looks like on the bottom lane too, there's a little bit of fun with ROTK, but again, it's just him being harassed out of the jungle. But he'll keep coming back again. As long as Treant Protector is having that Living Armor up and available, he will just keep spamming it out and letting ROTK just push the limits. You got Living Armor, and he got 4 points up in the Reactive Armor. It is very difficult to almost impossible to kill off that Timbersaw on the bottom lane without a large commitment.
That's true, man. Not really something they can do that easily. And I like the Bottle Doom just running around jungling. He did find the Troll Camp now, so did go for the Raise Dead, which is really an insanely good spell for jungling up fast. And we'll see him pull out in farm some, even though he's a support player. At heart, he can definitely do some good job just getting items in the jungle. Mid lane, I'm looking over towards it, and now we see Shadow Fiend starting to pull ahead a little bit. Level 5 has been hit.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of damage from Mushy.
Yeah.
Those quick 2 raises, and then I think Dragon Knight just realizes what he's up against there in that middle lane. The Living Armor helps him heal up with the Tango, and they're running for the 4-minute rune on the top, and it won't even be there. But Super, well, he may think of a stun right now. In fact, there it goes. Well. He's got Breathe Fire and QQQ with the help there. There's your Sarah, as you said. Mushy out of position. One quick raise, but he will go down.
Wow. So huge. Look at QQQ now, 1,100 gold, and he's bottle running. Gonna run the same time as Super, sends his courier or bottle as well.
The effectiveness of Doom when he comes out of the jungle. This is even before he hits that level 6. Imagine what happens when he does hit that level 6. SF, even inside of a BKB or anything, he won't be able to Shadow Raise, he won't be able to do that burst damage we saw him do up against the DK. And with that kind of power, you've got behind just a support hero with the control.
Yeah, and that was him having so much mana on the Doom as he came for the gank that he actually could use the Ensnare. It's 150 mana cost to Ensnare. Yeah, that's not a happy courier.
Go!
Running 2 bottles. You can do it! Come on!
We'll come back to this after a short commercial.
He's going to fill them up, and then he's going to be back to full speed.
He's got movement speed
He's perfectly fine now. Perfectly fine. Gotta go fast, right?
It's all about like the hair. You remember the story of the hare and the tortoise? You get there eventually, man. You get there eventually.
Man, that courier is pretty happy that you cannot go under 100 movement speed, at least in Dota.
That is an upside.
Yeah, he was down to 137, poor thing.
Ohio. This is a really rough lane for him on the top lane now. Obviously, he's running up his bottle, and that's great for him, but up against Burning, which he cannot harass down at all. Like, even the Iron Shell damage, this Living Armor from MMY, now up at level 2, makes it very, very difficult. And even if he doesn't, if he surges away from Elite Heat, it forces him to use the surge and also heals up Burning.
Yeah, but even so, he's getting so much on his offlane, 26 CS, and these are mostly lane creeps. I don't believe he has been jungling even for a short period of time in this game. He's just been staying up here. Bottom rune is going to be controlled by the Visage.
Invis for him, but it won't really open up much of an opening. Like, you got ROTK walk straight past him, but like Extinct can't initiate on that. He knows what he can and can't do. Ohio, well, he's looking to try and get a pull here, but then he realizes there's no more creeps available there.
Yeah, nothing there to find really. And so far, the game is very even. Even with that first blood, I wouldn't say that Orange are falling behind too much because of this off lane. Darkseer making it draw pretty even because of all the CS he's getting. Timbersaw only at 2 CS, and that's his counterpart.
Timbersaw's basically been shut down. The only thing that's balancing him out for the gold graph for DK is the fact that Doombringer is continuously pulling money out of the jungle. And that's one thing that Orange, they can't do anywhere as efficiently. Because obviously Devoured gives you so much more power. ROTK now says, well, time to fix up that CS score. 3-1 now. There's on the run. Because Nep, well, there will be a stun, and there's going to be a sprint in. There's going to be amplified damage with the Crush. Couldn't get it first. The Timber Chain, 1 second on cooldown. Crush will hit. ROTK, he can latch himself away from this. That range going to get a little bit closer. Now we can latch, but there's this follow-up stun from Nyx. Then Orange get themselves on the board as well. 1-1.
1-1 and 2,300 gold now in this starter. He can go for any build he wants. Blink Dagger is very popular. Doesn't seem to be going for anything like a Midas. Probably just going to head into an early armlet, I would assume.
Yep.
And just try to be that powerhouse running in the front and let Mushi help him with the DPS.
Means he has to offset that armlet somehow. Like, the regeneration we're going to be looking at for him. What are we thinking on that one?
Well,
or is it just good control over the armlet?
Lifesteal is decent on him, so you could go for that as well. But I just think that he's going to go for armlet, power treads, and then try to maybe find some fights with that. Or he's just going to keep farming until he has a Blink Dagger and then really just go out and initiate everywhere. Mana Boots now finished up for Net. Not bad timing at all.
Want to keep my eyes on Doombringer right now. Up at level 6 and just purchased Smoke. So QQQ, look for his presence somewhere across the map. Hero like Darkseer will go down very, very quickly if that's where he wants to initiate.
With the Angel farm. He does get the big one, and does he get the second one? He gets it.
Radiant's top tower is under
nice money.
Nice farming from the low ground.
Get that in the snare back up on Doom with his army of death and Super as well as QQQ. They are now going to smoke up and see if they can find themselves kills. And Ohio, he already feels it. Like, mid lane's been missing for a while now, and they can see that. There's an observer wall that's watching the rotation around. Obviously can't see heroes inside the smoke, but they know Doombringer's missing. Level 6 was roughly about now. And DK using that fun little ward spot. Just
it's a very interesting one.
Hiding itself behind the rock wall.
Yeah, it's a very interesting little ward spot, but they're going to push top. They have the level 8 on DK, so he can definitely bring down this tower pretty fast.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And there won't be much of a trade in the bottom lane. Mushi is trying to do some kind of damage here, while Extinct is actually finding his levels in the middle lane, and there will be TP's top lane.
Look at his item. Look at Slardar.
Is he going to?
He's going to go now.
There's your Blink Dagger. 4-man crush. But there's no follow-up. There's no follow-up. Ohio needs to give him more power here. Even with the Iron Shell damage, DK just took the damage and back up a little bit more. It's the tower deny, and that's why Super is going to be Vendetta stun, and Slider actually denies up the tower. There's still amplified damage up on Super.
That's still really good play by Orange, just getting the deny on tower, wasting the enemy's Doom. I'd say they're pretty happy with this, and they didn't defend with more than just 3 heroes, so DK probably not too happy committing all that time with 4 heroes and getting nothing really. Tower deny doesn't do too much.
They might be a little bit more concerned about the fact that also Visage is getting so much experience in the SF. SF's at 71 for 6 as far as the CS. It is the highest on the board, followed pretty closely by Weaver at the 64. But I say closely when you have Mushi do that kind of stuff, flash farming, straight up to 74. So he'll keep that gap pretty well up.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend is a very hard hero to keep pace with, but then again, farm on Weaver is also really dangerous. If he hits high farm and gets that MKB going, BKB, even Linken Sphere if some teams like it, or Desolator, you can deal so much damage as well. So we'll see what they're gonna head into. But the combination, I mean, we already saw KYXY blink in and stun on 4. He couldn't commit because he knew that there was Doom, there was stun from DK. Too many things could follow up if he just stayed there. But even so, he was bringing the Doombringer really low on HP. But he needs power treads and maybe one more item before he really can kill people with this initiation.
Mushi on his way to the BKB. Super, how's he chilling? Haste Rune up on him. I'm waiting for QQQ to have that Doom off cooldown in 18 seconds time and then see him rotate around and get some kills. There's so many BKBs coming up on the board everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
A lot of them. But I also like to see QQQ just farm up a little bit more. Sure, his ganks are really nice, but just seeing him farm up and get that early mech, solve that armor problem. He has the buckler in base now, but getting the full mech is really worth it. In bottom lane, you see some big movement.
Yeah, they're looking for ROTK, who's sitting on top of the tier 1 tower. He's going to get squashed in right now because KOAXY, he can follow up this pretty easily, waiting for ROTK just to timber chain himself out. Have a blink to the crush, but should be putting that amplified damage on him the second he sees him.
That's a level 1 timber chain though. It's not something that can really get you too far away, and it's also really slow. So against this backstab, he shouldn't be able to live.
Now they move. In comes Nep, surged in, first stun, follow up, amplify and crush.
Yeah.
Very quick combinations here from Orange, and there's a lot of DK now rotating down towards the bottom lane. They smoked up as well, and Super's going to be the first one to come in. Into the Dragon Form with the haste, stuns up KYXY, and Ohio turns around. The Vac to start with. There's no follow-up with any kind of... Well, there it is. There's your stun. The net. Nice ultimate coming up the tree Protector. That'll hold at least 2 of them in position, and the stun out in KYXY. Super keeps diving in. Mushy, 1 race, 2 race. A lot of damage coming from him. They will lose a Slider, but MMY picks up a double kill here in this fight. Going to the tree Protector with a 2-for-2 trade.
2-for-2
Oh,
trade.
is it? Burning. He wants to go for Extinct. There's a lot of damage. He's still got the living armor up his sleeve. That attack is going to be enough. Snipes off the weave, off the Visage. And Mushy's going to find him as well. Mushy winds up the ultimate.
That's the magic wand.
And he holds it. He holds it. Where's the stun? There's a timber chain through Mushy. Now he winds up the mana, obliterates ROTK, and Burning. The Centaur comes in to say hello, but Darkseer's Iron Shell damage will get the kill. Over commitment here from DK on the bottom lane.
Yeah, and losing out Burning there is not something they can afford. They don't want to give any type of lead or momentum here towards Orange, and now finding this rune, Mushy gonna be back up to the high health as well.
This is really troublesome for DK. You're getting Mushy, who's finding kills. Also, like the double bait of the ultimate. He waited a long time before he finally got that one off, and then instantly took out the Timbersaw. Doesn't die, stays ahead, and that means now 113 on him, 100 CS. He cracks the century mark. And Mushy is getting bigger, and on top of that, their initiation is working as well. A Blink Dagger with the Strength Treads. KYXY, he jumped in and then he follows up with an amplified damage too. He's just an enabler. He's making it so SF can do the damage, not just SF. Like if Extinct can live a little bit longer during these fights, he'll be starting to throw off his. And then Darkseer, we haven't even seen his real presence in this fight just yet. We saw an Iron Shell here or there, but a vac into a wall hasn't happened yet. If DK's after dealing with that one, life's going to get a lot harder for the Chinese.
Yeah, he's only level 8 on Darkseer, so far it's pretty impossible to land a big vacuum. But for him, in this game, it's so important that he actually got that amount of farm on the offlane. Sure, maybe not full experience, but he's level 8, almost has the mech. And having that mech is going to be so huge in the team fights.
Don't know if intentional, but KOAXY might be hating on that catapult.
Might be.
Could have been looking for Super and probably was. A small misclick. ROTK coming in here as well. They got MMY just behind him. And a very quick blink away by KYXY. He is not going to fall for this trap. He does get the amplified damage now up on ROTK.
It's very cheap to just spam your amplified damage. Getting the high ground vision just by putting it on the catapult there is perfectly fine.
QQQ moving around inside that Invis rune. Managed to spawn out Mushy for a quick minute, but Mushy comes into that middle lane. He'll want to see if he can bring down that tier 1 tower in the mid. Still no towers claimed by Orange. Like they did deny up their top tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and the deny is really important that they did on the top lane. How are we looking for gold right now?
Wow,
they're ahead by
item.
1.5.
15 minutes mech now comes up from Ohio, where he's not finding a whole lot of levels. He's finding what he needs for the team fight. While at the same time, Super, you want gold from that? H is stack time with your Flame Dragon too, so he's got that good splash damage to get all that extra gold in.
And he can flank ROTK.
Oh, they're coming in. They're coming in. Blink to crush. Super amplify. They got the soul assumption too, but Super very tanky. Now comes in the Shark Drum. The Meg Charge from Ohio pops up and instantly repairs all the damage they took. And yeah, Blink Dagger comes off cooldown. Now he can follow ROTK. Amplifies up again.
Gonna steal the stack, more likely. Easier and safer.
Yep, they turn around for it.
Also want to deny all this from the DK. And it's a big steal here by Orange.
There's no way really ROTK could try and stop this. If he wants a timber chain up there, he's going to know he's very visible. Throws out the Shark Drum, looks up to the high ground. In comes Burning. So yes, they do want to contest this with MMY. Smack bang in the middle. ROTK stood up when he first got in. Familiar still haven't dropped just yet. They drop down once, drop down twice. All Burning in position, but MMY, big ultimate, 3 to catch out here. The Chakram still just ripping through KYXY. Burning with a double kill now. He's going to find himself some more. It's going to be a triple kill for Burning, bringing down the Nyx Assassin. And Ohio, he's on the run, surging away. Burning, trying to catch up to him in time. And he's got away from this surge. It's level 2. So Burning has to keep going. And Mushi! Winds it up, and Burning, it's a trap!
Mushi, what up? This is why he's a really amazing Shadow Fiend player. That was just crazy. Burning got destroyed by Mushi.
That is the second time we've seen him drop an ultimate where a hero has been in point blank range. The first time was the Timbersaw on the bottom lane, caught in really, really close, and that's now the second time, but on the high ground with no vision. You knew he was hunting the kill. You knew Burning. Like, he got 3, he wanted 4, he wanted more. That's money right there.
That was just a prediction that the Shukuchi would be chasing after.
Yep.
And he knows Burning very well. Burning, when he sees someone that looks like an easy kill, he's gonna go for it. Doxy, on the other hand, was completely safe, having mech available as well. So just good play there by Orange, but they did get really caught out in the enemy secret shop. They lost a lot of heroes up there.
Oh yeah. And that's actually really great to see. I'm happy to see DK. In fact, I'm wondering if DK is even looking along these lines, because you know what we were talking about a lot during the best of ones, where like there's so much on the line right now. You want to play that kind of safe kind of Dota. There's no risk Dota kind of style. And in this game, it really seems like DK, they want to be the ones on the front foot. They want to force Orange to actually play, to try and be aggressive with their lineup. And Orange, if you look at their lineup, that's exactly what their lineup wants to do. It wants to get out there. It wants to fight. And DK, they kind of want to tank it all up, but so far they're still missing out on, well, I won't say a lot of farm and a lot of gold, because they're still decently keeping up as well with Orange, but it just doesn't seem like they've got enough just yet to take Orange head to head.
Keep an eye on KOX right here. If he sees someone that looks like an easy kill, he's gonna go.
And well, able to avoid the Chakram too, so we don't have any kind of damage on him. The Blink is still available. And there's more support coming in. Super's coming in through the side. And now with the Burning field up and KYXY doomed up. QQQ will be chasing this. And now with the lead seat, they want Mushi. He's a bigger kill right now. He just pops the BKB, winds up the ult, and MMY throws his, stops Mushi. But then with a big, so huge over from Mushi. Double kill for him. Raise it up quickly. Clean up the creep wave and follow them down. MMY thought he had the control. Blink up for the crush. Super amplified damage. Hold him there. He stuns up Ned. Now Mushi comes back to the fight. Stun, and there it is. Another one going the way of Slana this time around.
What crazy team play there by Orange, just landing that. DK way too confident against Orange there. That's going to be a Roshan attempt for sure.
I don't think it'll be an attempt, man. It's going to be successful. There's no real way the DK can stop this now.
Grave Chill coming out, proccing that Linken's on Roshan, and then amplify damage, minus 18 armor. This is why Orange lineup can kill Roshan so fast.
It's scary, man. 24. Oi, oi, oi.
They're making the most out of this Shadow Fiend. The way they have been using the ulti, we haven't even gone 20 minutes in, and we've seen 3 really beautiful Shadow Fiend ultis.
Yep. It's kind of hilarious, because normally the thing I hear from a lot of my co-casters is, you know, when you have an SF ulti, level 1, it's okay. Level 2, hell yes. Go out there, find fights, and just start killing everything you can possibly find.
Yeah, but he really made big plays already with the level 1 ulti.
Oh, yeah.
And now sitting at 142 CS, 40 ahead of the Weaver. And Weaver still doesn't have his BKB. If he had the BKB on bot a fight, then maybe he would have been okay. But he needed 200 more gold, and that's what he needs now as well.
Yeah.
So really getting shut down by the Shadow Fiend and Doxy, everyone really from Orange.
Orange need to keep this momentum up. I'm looking at this lineup, and while it's still great, while their combos are working now, they are going to drop off. They really are going to drop off against this DK lineup, because Doom is still getting bigger bit by bit. Timbersaw, not a great momentum right now on him, but still can do it for his team. And then you got DK and Weaver.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
want to try and kill these guys off later, unless Mushi is walking around with huge amounts of damage dealing items and keeps landing all these ultimates. They won't be able to win a fight up against DK.
Yeah, but even for Mushi, he's not that reliant on items, as he has a Slaughter in his team that amplifies any damage he wants to deal. They even have the Darkseer, so...
Oh, they found QQQ. Blink up with the crush. Slana, kill secure.
Killed, secured.
And now look to the tier 1 tower in mid. Mushi just nukes down the creep wave, and the new one's coming in with Catapult as well. So this tower will go down. Living armor or not, it won't protect the tower enough.
Yeah, we see the movement for Super trying to get down to that bottom tower, gonna try and split push, but I think Orange just gonna try to get 2 towers on mid lane.
Yep. They got the momentum here. Why fall back? Get on the front lines. Chakra from ROTK can be in uses, but they got the familiar burst to basically make a bit of a, well, a buffer.
Look for Nyx, they're gonna try to kill off bottom, but Haste Rune on DK allows him to just run away. Nice attempt by Net, but doesn't get him.
Next time that will work. You look at Net's money. Blink Dagger is so close for him.
Yeah, that's a very farmed Nyx, just because of these fights that are going the way of Orange.
Yeah. What's his net worth sitting at?
Net worth?
Actually, well, he's 4th. He's 4th up. But if you look at DK, like MMY sitting just below 2,000 net worth, just over 3,000 is in fact the Timbersaw then. Doombringer, of course, you always expect him to have a little bit more, 5.1k up on him, because he is able to have that bonus gold coming in through the Devour. So there's always a little bit more money coming the way of him, but the money overall is going the way of Orange. 8,000 is the gold advantage for them, and the experience starts to level up around 9k.
Yeah, and right now, Orange is just confident that they can fall back a little bit, take some more farm. They didn't really get the tier 2 on mid, but they did try to get a kill on bottom. They defended the tower at least, so Orange pretty comfortable in this, 14-7.
Oh yeah. They should still be looking for more.
Yeah, of course, they're gonna move up to the top lane, but when they have that BKB on Slaughter, they can be unstoppable in a team fight. Nothing will control Mushi, nothing will control KYXY. The Doom will probably be used on the Darkseer again, as it has been pretty much every fight so far.
Yep.
And even then, they get clustered up way too much and just get chain stunned and ulted by Shadow Fiend.
Well, so DK is accepting the fact that tier 1 tower on the top lane is going to go down. And there's more support coming in, obviously. Ohio standing behind him with a DD room bolted up because he does a lot of physical damage. And that'll be the tower. Living armor. Wow, that's a nuisance, but it's not going to stop Mushy from achieving his goal. So tier 1 tower, no attempt for a defense. They look towards KYXY in the middle lane, but it's MMY and Super trying to go up against him, and that's not gonna work.
Yeah, no real trade at all being taken for DK. They're farming a little bit with their Weaver on bottom lane. He has his BKB, but now looking at the Dire jungle, we're gonna see initiation.
There we are. ROTK, Vendetta for the stun. Familiar's follow-up, Visage. That'll pick up the Timbersaw. QQQ gonna be back in again. Mushy just right-clicking another Solar Sub to QQQ. A lot of damage, not enough to finish him off. Mushy wants to wind up the ultimate. Burning, locked in position.
Burning.
He just walked in to die right then. It's Super, while Mushy puts the targets on him, pushing him back. QQQ buys back.
Burning doesn't throw out his ultimate, doesn't realize that he goes down so fast to Mushi's right clicks. And he simply just walked in with BKB on Weaver and died.
It's like he thought BKB would protect him from the physical damage as well, but obviously not the case.
I guess he wasn't thinking like that, but he was just thinking that he would survive just a little bit longer. But Mushi's damage is really something you have to be fearful of.
Well, he's hitting about 200 for every single hit. And then there's more Mushies when he pops off that Mana style. And that's going to be tier 2 tower plus those kills going the way of Orange. They are in a fantastic position right now. But like they were in a fantastic position yesterday as well. In their first game up against DK, you could say the game was basically theirs. And then they got a little bit greedy. They started hunting a lot of kills. Nice entry. Vendetta. And they got follow-up. KYXY blinking for the crush. They pick off MMY.
Very good pick off. So far, Orange looking completely unstoppable in this game, and unless they do something like they did last game, where they basically ran into a tier 4 towers, I don't see anything that can stop them.
No.
The tier 4 is their enemy in this game.
Yep. And that means when they breach the base, we look for those key items as well to come up on them. Like we're getting Visage into those familiars. He's got a medallion up as well as the gem, but Mech on the Darkseer. Suppose we don't really need to look into the whole pipe kind of scenario, but they need the strength, they need the say ability to get themselves up to that high ground. For now though, tier 2 towers are main objective. ROTK blink in, got the stun, and then the follow-up crush. They already got the first kill on the Timbersaw over to QQQ. Look at the nukage coming out! There's just easy damage for Mushy. He will be held in position by MMY's ultimate, but then he throws out the ultimate Super inside the BKB. He's okay, but Burning goes down again. Slider to take that kill. Blink Dagger off cooldown, but not enough mana available for the Slider to really chase it properly. But they've got the kills, and they take the tier 2 tower. I'm wondering, we just go in. I think we're going to go in.
Yeah, they're going to keep going here. And I mean, they kill off Burning, they kill off 2 heroes more. And what do they lose? A Nyx? That's all? And now they're just going to start bashing on this tier 3. Unless they dive, there's no way they can stop this.
And that Nyx initiation here, man, that was beautiful positioning. MMY wants to try and hold this again, but he doesn't have his ultimate this time around. It's just some easy damage from Orange, and that tower, it will be denied by the DK.
Still nice decision here from Orange, just backing out. They know they just won an amazing fight, got the tower mid. They should back up, get something for the gold they have. Blink Dagger now in the darks here.
It's like they learned their lesson from yesterday. Don't overcommit, guys. Like,
I'm pretty sure that was the topic of last night.
Yep. Winning this is such a huge thing. Like, you get yourself into the next round. Obviously, any kind of game you win at TI3 is freaking huge. But to topple down a Chinese giant like DK and keep Malaysia alive, that's the bigger thing for these guys right now. And if they keep playing like this, they're going to. They're going to keep destroying DK. But if they even show a small gap in their armor, you know DK is going to pummel it through. A hero like Burning, all he needs is just a little bit of extra space. Maybe if he finally gets a damage-dealing item, he could deal a hell of a lot more. And they're going to find each other. 5v5 engagement. Mushi comes in, and then BKB's going to pop. Crystal's up on him. Ohio back in to a 4-man stun. And then the follow-up stun is DK being absolutely impaled. And Super will go down to full team white. GG! Orange. What a fight, what a combo, what synergy from the Malaysians.
That Blink Dagger on Darkseid caught them completely off guard, and Orange looking pretty happy as they walk out of the booths.
They really should be. They came in being one game down and have just basically shown that it doesn't matter. Like having that night off, they came back in, they played what I almost want to call like a symphony of Dota.
That was just beautiful. The entire game, they played everything the way they should. So Orange, amazing play.
Yeah, that it was. And of course, now we're going to a very, very short break and over to the boys at the panel for that.
Thank you very much, Toby and Wagamama. So there we have it. Orange take game 2 of the best of 3 and are going to now tie us up at a 1-1. And absolutely amazing. And the most impressive thing is they did it with the useless fish. The useless fish. They won with Slardar. They made him useful.
It's actually really useful when you have it
against a Weaver.
Yeah, against a Weaver, against a Dragon Knight, which makes your armor completely irrelevant. Against Timbersaw and Doom, which start with 0 armor, both of them. I think it was the right pick. The hero is not the strongest hero in the world, but with that lineup, it worked perfectly.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
Yeah, it was very, very smart. And Weaver had very difficult item builds. Like, if you go BKB, you will still get wrecked by the -20 armor from AMP, the SF, Aura, Presence of Dark Lord, and they had Medallion too. So even though Burning had a BKB, he couldn't just walk in there, and you can get bashed. If he goes Linken's, there's a myriad of spells to pop it off, and you can't go armor because he just flops to the Requiem too. They had some really nice combos with the Vacuum and into a Nerubian Assassin, Impale into a Requiem on the bottom lane, and then the final fight that we just saw, that coordination was incredible.
Yeah, especially, as I mentioned, Mushi hitting his Requiem of Souls. That's the name of the ultimate, am I correct? Yeah. Just the timing. Like, people talk about Mushi and his Shadow Fiend. Malk, we saw it here in this game, why it was so good.
Just perfect play with the Vacuum on the bottom lane. Such a good fight, and you could just see nothing DK could do against it. I think the Slardar pick was just element of surprise and genius against this tanky lineup. Whew, I lost my breath.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Malk is always near the player area, so that game ended rather abruptly. We can take a look at one of the replays, though, and see exactly how just divine the combos were. So you see here, Mushi, nice Manta into BKB. There's just the Slardar stun into an Impel, and everyone blows up, and easy to chase down Super. And, well, that was going to be the GG. And really, Ohio, with his vacuums, were so good. I mean, we didn't necessarily see a needed one in that fight, but there were earlier on, one of the big fights that happened on the bottom lane was Mushi was trying to channel his ultimate. He got overgrowthed by the Treant Protector, and then Ohio was like, well, this is okay for me. Pulled him in and blew him up. So all the team fights, they just seemed so on point, Orange. But do you also think it was a case that it was more about the draft, it was more about the synergy than the playstyle? Because I felt it was a lot harder for DK to make something happen, and they needed a little bit more farm. Obviously, they had the Weaver and the Treant Protector, so they were looking to utilize him in a solo kind of capacity, but they were kind of forced to team fight. And the Timbersaw, it's good, but you really need it to get a little bit ahead.
To not be
item-wise.
0-8.
Yeah.
At 27 minutes.
Yeah, Zenith actually used the Treant Protector and Timbersaw in the preliminary stage and had a lot more success, but they were prepared for their opponents. They know that Burning loves this Weaver. They know they like their strength tanky heroes, and they just completely demolished them with that line. I think it was more like an anti-DK strategy rather than it was like a targeted strategy that they ran.
So now Orange have prepared a strategy, and they've brought us to a 1-1 game.
Well, I think the Slardar pick was still just on the fly pick, an element of surprise that could really just enable them to take down these heavy hitters like DK, Doombringer, Treant Protector. All of those heroes really have a lot of HP and it's hard to take down, but with the amplified damage from Slardar, the minus armor from Shadow Fiend, it's just a great all-around combo against such tanks. But yeah, overall it looked like Mushi was really satisfied with his Shadow Fiend and went for it again today.
So, what about next game? Where did DK go from here? Because Orange, they seem to be a little bit prepared. They knew a lot about DK.